This video provides easy-to-follow instructions so you can create this bushing using Onshape. Click below in the video description. Here you will find links to all of the resources you need to complete this project. First, there is a link for a PDF instruction sheet. Click this link and open the project drawings and specifications in a new browser tab. Next, if you don't have an Onshape account, use one of these links to create a free account at the Onshape website. Last, there are links for each of the segments of this video. The video instruction is organized into 5 segments. In Segment 1, you will read the engineering drawings. Segment 2 will establish the design intent. In Segment 3, you will create the part model using Onshape. Next, you will check the accuracy of your model by checking its mass properties. Last, you will check the design intent by making changes to the model to see if it will update correctly. Now you are ready to begin the project. In this segment, we will review the engineering drawings for this part called a bushing. We'll start by identifying the views provided in the drawings. This drawing shows 2 standard views used to describe the shape and size of this mechanical part. First, an isometric view shows the shape as a 3D pictorial. The included orthographic view shows 3 principal views. In the lower left corner, the front view. Projected directly above the front view is the top view. Projected to the right of the front view is the right side view. When preparing to make a feature-based model, we need to identify the basic shapes and features. The front view shows the outside shape as a circular part. In the center, there is a concentric circular hole going through the part. There are vertical rectangular notches cut on each side of the cylinder. These notches are centered on each side of the cylinder. The top view shows a hole centered through the top of the cylinder. There is a horizontal notch cut across the front of the cylinder. This notch is centered on the front of the cylinder. Next, we can read the information displayed in the dimensions and notes. First, the measurement units are in millimeters. The outside diameter is 75 millimeters. The inside diameter is 50 millimeters. The length of the cylinder is 50 millimeters. The hole in the top has a diameter of 10 millimeters. The hole is centered on the top of the cylinder. The side notches are 15 millimeters wide. These notches are cut to a depth of 5 millimeters from the outside of the cylinder. The front notch has a height of 25 millimeters, centered vertically on the front. It is 10 millimeters deep. The material is brass. The mass units are set to kilograms. Before we model the part in Onshape, we have to establish the design intent. To do this, we have to consider how we will apply constraints to meet the drawing size and shape specifications. To start, we need to identify any features that might be changed or revised during the design process. One change is the inside diameter of the cylinder. Also, the length of the part may have to be increased. Next, we need to identify the features that should remain unchanged when the part is revised. In this case, the general shape and wall thickness should remain unchanged. The size and location of the top hole should remain centered on the top. The size and location of the side notches are unchanged, as well as the size and location of the front notches. The part should maintain its symmetry when revised. When creating the model, the choice and order of placing constraints will determine if the model will change predictively. And if the design intent is applied correctly, we can change the inside diameter and length of the bushing, the holes and other features will remain centered, and the part will update without errors. Before we create this model in Onshape, let's review the workflow that we will use. Using the drawing, we need to identify the profile or closed region that we'll use for the base sketch. We will use the front view as the base sketch. This will determine the isometric orientation of the part in the Part Studio. Choose the location to place the origin on the sketch. This will establish the relationship of the part to the default geometry. We will place the origin at the center of the part concentric to the circular profile. Because most of the features of the model need to be constrained to the center, this will orient all of the default sketch geometry to the center of the part. Sketch 1 will create the base sketch. Extrude 1 will create the base feature from the base sketch. We will extrude symmetrically to leave the origin at the center of the part. Sketch 2 will locate and define the top hole on the part. Extrude 2 will remove material from the hole using Sketch 2. Sketch 3 will locate and define the notches on the sides of the bushing. Extrude 3 will remove material to form the notches. Sketch 4 will locate and define the notches on the front face of the bushing. Extrude 4 will remove the material to form the front notches. This completes the bushing. As each feature is created, a reference entry is added to the feature list. Each sketch and feature is listed in the order that it was created. Before starting the sketch, I want to check my workspace units. Make sure the length is set to millimeters and the mass is set to kilograms. I'll start a new sketch in this part studio. Click on the front sketch plane. Use N on the keyboard to view normal and P to turn off the visibility of the sketch planes. From the toolbar, choose Center Point Circle. Click Coincident to the origin to start the circle. Enter the diameter at 50 millimeters. Click the origin to start the concentric outer circle. Click to make the larger outer circle, but to not enter a diameter. Use Escape to end the circle. We will use our Dimension tool to set the wall thickness of the bearing. Click on the Dimension tool. Click on the inside circle and then click on the outside circle. Set the distance at 12.5 millimeters. Click the green check to accept the base sketch. Right-click and choose Isometric View from the pop-up menu. From the Feature toolbar, choose Extrude. This will be new, and for the region, choose Sketch 1. Check on Symmetric to extrude equally in both directions. This will keep the origin at the center of the part, and it can be used to apply other constraints. Set the depth at 50 millimeters. Click the green check to accept. Now, if we revise the inside dimension, the outside dimension will update automatically. Next, we will create the hole in the top of the bushing. Click to start a new sketch, and then click on the top sketch plane in the default geometry in the feature list. To view the top sketch plane, we will use a section view. Click on the camera and render options to the right under the view cube. From the drop-down, choose Section View at the bottom. For the cutting plane, choose the top sketch plane from the default geometry. Use the green check to accept the section view. Now use N on the keyboard to view normal to the screen. Choose Center Point Circle from the toolbar. Click on the origin and set the diameter to 10 millimeters. Use the green check to accept the sketch. Right-click and choose Isometric View. Right-click and choose Turn Section View Off. Choose Extrude from the Feature toolbar. Choose Remove to cut the hole. Choose the sketch for the region. Make sure the direction is through the top of the part. Set the end type to Through All. Use the green check to accept. Now we will create the notches on the sides of the bushing. Click to start a new sketch and place this on the top sketch plane. Again, use the camera and render option menu and choose Translucent. Use N on the keyboard to view normal to the sketch plane. We need to use the outside edge of the bushing, so click on the Use tool, then click on the outside edge of the bushing. Next, to create the notch, click on the center point rectangle. Hover over the outside edge and click Coincident to the line. Enter 10 millimeters for the width and 15 millimeters for length. To align the rectangle with the center, use a horizontal constraint. Click on the origin and then click on the center of the rectangle. The lines should turn black, showing it is fully constrained. Next, we will mirror the rectangle to the other side. Click on the Line tool and the Construction tool. Hover over the origin, then move vertical. Click the mouse and draw a vertical line down and click to establish a center line. Click on the Mirror tool in the toolbar and click on the center line. Use a window to choose the rectangle, and you should see it appear mirrored on the other side. Right-click and Escape Mirror to end the command. Use the green check to accept the sketch. Right-click and choose Isometric View. To turn off Translucent, use the Camera and Render option menu and choose Shaded. To cut the notches, click on the Extrude tool in the Feature toolbar. Choose the Remove option from the list. For the region, choose Sketch 3 in the feature list. Click on Symmetric to extend the cut in both directions. For the end type, choose Through All. The notches should appear cut on both sides of the bushing. Click the green check to accept. For the last feature, we will cut the notch from the front face of the bushing. Start a new sketch and click on the front face of the bushing to use as our sketch plane. Use N on the keyboard to view normal to the screen. Click on the center point rectangle from the toolbar. Click on the origin at the center of the part. Stretch the rectangle out past the outside edges of the bushing. Right-click and end the rectangle command. From the toolbar, choose the Dimension tool. Click on the end of the rectangle and enter 25 for the height. Next, we want to set the length of the rectangle tangent to the outside edges of the bushing. Click on the tangent constraint in the toolbar. Click on the outside edge of the rectangle and then the outside edge of the bushing. All the lines should turn black, indicating they are fully constrained. Use the green check to accept the sketch. Right-click and choose Isometric View. To cut the notches, choose the Extrude tool from the Feature Tools. Choose the Remove option from the list. Select the regions of the sketch to cut into the front of the bushing. Set the depth to 10 millimeters. Use the green check to accept. The bushing is now complete. In this segment, we'll check the accuracy of the model by checking its mass properties. To check the model, the mass unit should be set to kilograms and the material set to brass. If the size and shape of your model was completed accurately, the mass should be 0.947 kilograms. Let's look at this process step by step. First, open the document that contains the model of the bushing. Next, check the workspace units and make sure that mass was set to kilograms. Next, set the material to brass. Go to the part in the parts list. Right-click and choose Assign Material. In this case, we're searching for brass. Click to select it. Next, go down to the lower right corner and click on the Display Mass Properties button. When the dialog box opens, click on the part, and the display shows a mass of 0.947 kilograms. If this was your result, then your part is accurate and matches the specifications. If not, we can troubleshoot to locate the step where you made an error. First, locate the rollback bar in the feature list. We will examine the mass of each feature to compare to yours to find any errors. Move the rollback bar up to just below Extrude 1, showing just the base feature. The mass is 1.042 kilograms. If your value here doesn't match, check Sketch 1 or Extrude 1. Move the rollback bar down to just below Extrude 2. This adds back the whole. The mass is now 1.034 kilograms. If your value here doesn't match, check Sketch 2 or Extrude 2. Move the rollback bar down to just below Extrude 3. This adds back the notches on the sides. The mass is now 1.001 kilograms. If your value here doesn't match, check Sketch 3 or Extrude 3. Last, move the rollback bar to the end to add back the front notch. The mass is now 0.947 kilograms. With all corrections complete, your bushing should now be completed accurately. In this segment, we will make some revisions to the bushing. We will start by reading the revision drawings to find which features need to be changed. First, the inside diameter has been changed from 50 to 70 millimeters. Notice that when the inside diameter changes and the wall thickness remains the same, the outside diameter will be 95 millimeters. Next, the length of the bushing has been increased to 60 millimeters. The part should maintain its vertical symmetry. After making these revisions, the part should now have a mass of 1.552 kilograms. Let's make these revisions to the bushing now. I know that the inside diameter was set in Sketch 1, so double-click to open it up for editing. Double-click on the dimension for the inside diameter and change to 70 millimeters. The wall thickness was set to 12.5 millimeters, so the outside diameter should now be 95 millimeters. Let's use the Measure tool to check its diameter. Yes, it is now 95 millimeters. Use the final button to preview the update. I can see that all the other features have updated correctly, so use the green check to accept the edit. Next, we will change the length of the bushing. Double-click on Extrude 1 in the feature list. Change the depth to 60 millimeters. Use the final button to preview the update. It looks correct, so use the green check to accept. With the revisions complete, let's check the mass properties now. It should be 1.552 kilograms. If your result matches this, you have revised the part accurately. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, look for more projects at cadvideotutor.com. Also, hit the like or subscribe button. If you have a question, leave a comment.